Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to. Okay. Wow. First off, I will be having episodes about my adventures with catfishing. I would have to say I have learned so much about the catfish game, and I am starting to prepare myself with allowing the catfish to lure me into the other apps, but I have to make sure it's one where I can screenshot and be able to get as much information as humanly possible. But even before I allow myself, I have so many screenshots. So I think I've talked to, like, over the summer, I think I've collected about 16 to 18 different catfish, but I ruled the scene, which I think really like they do not like not having the power. They will let you go as soon as possible. Like I've had one where it only lasted one day because I would go around like some of the questions because they are determined to know how much money you make because they're going to start calculating how much money they're going to start asking you for because they're going to start compared to your salary. They're going to kind of start small and grow bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden I'm at the hospital, I was in an accident. Or if they're in the army, oh, they're not feeding us, or I had to go rescue. Or I've heard so many, like it's kind of hilarious but sad at the same time. Or oh, and a lot of them have kids, but they don't have kids. But then they post catfishes children on these sites, and I'm just like, how about if somebody, like even if the grandparents are with these kids at a grocery store and somebody sees the kids, they're like, oh, it's like you, like you're, I know your dad. It's like, I'm dating him, or I'm blah blah blah. Like those kids are gonna be looking at you, especially if he's married. They might go back to mom, and that's gonna start a lot. Like if they don't already know that they, like, someone stole his images, that could start drama that you won't believe. And so, yeah, I have a lot of episodes, but that takes time. And I know you guys keep hearing me say I'm writing my novel. I'm like trying to start working on the children's book so I can get more of those out there. And then trying to get one episode every single day, and also the greeting cards. So, yeah, please understand and also have a little empathy because for the fact that my YouTube channel is as messy as my life. And at first, I used to be like, oh, I need to make sure everything is perfect and I need to show my face soon. And I'm going to show myself and I'm going to do a live pretty soon. But I'm tired of always, like, while growing up, I was never perfect, and my parents made sure to let me know that my twin sister was the perfect one. So that's a different story, but they still expected a lot of perfection out of me. So I think that's one reason why now I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let the whole world see my messy or my chaotic, toxic, like history. Like I've been through so much and everything, and that kind of leads me towards my topic because especially when it comes to dating, I have. Please go back and listen to a lot of the either dating nightmares or, oh, the trip to Olive Garden, the breadstick story. And I'm going to talk about, like, this week or this Saturday is Sweetest Day. So I'm going to be especially talking about Mr. No Heart, Mr. Lockakey more to get into the theme of it. And I'm getting into some chapters where I'm going to be inserting some of, like, parts of some of their stories in there because I can put the emotion because I was there, I witnessed, and I suffered and had to go through a lot of trauma, trauma, drama, and just disappointment. But okay, when it comes to these dating apps, I talk about dating apps a lot because, oh, I like back in the day, they were a lot better. And I would say even I don't want to say safer because I was still called the N word in different, and black men would be like, dang, you so light and all this other garbage. Or it's like when I would put even my, like, talk about myself either with my degrees or anime. Oh, you a white girl want to be like, it's like, so trust me, like back in the day, it was a little toxic, but nothing compared to now. But also, our educational system, and the thing is, I was a teacher. It's like I'm still a adjunct professor, but I was a teacher K through 8, and I mean I substitute taught, and I was in one school for 4 years. And when I have to witness and see eighth graders on a third grade reading level, but they think they're doing something, but then they hear me read and they're just like, hold up, wait, like they think I'm robotic, or they're saying that I'm not reading off the pages and I'm making it up. It's really sad. But that gets to the point of with dating apps, people don't want to read anymore. People don't want to pay attention. A lot of people only look at one picture to slide left or right. Because I've even caught some people with profiles, they know this. And so they will put a younger version of themselves as their first picture, or even a sibling. Because even down, if you when you read the description, seen this a couple times. Oh yeah, that picture above, that's one of my cousins. But I know a lot of ladies think my cousin's attractive, so I know at least this way you'll talk to me, or at least you'll swipe right and give me a chance. But since not many people read that profile part, it works. And or the younger picture, it works. And I just find it kind of hilarious because I'm like, okay, I can't feel too bad because it's like all they had to do was go like slide down and read and pay attention and look at the pictures. I feel like I'm Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys because I've caught men. Oh, I'm a moderate. Oh no, I'm a liberal because I. It's like during COVID, I've talked to guys who they said they were a liberal on their profile. Then we start talking. Oh, I just said I was liberal because the liberal girls, they're hotter and they're freakier. So it's like I thought I would have a more fun time, and then after it's like I would just bounce and block them after I'm done with them. So whenever I ask the question, are you a liberal or conservative, or have you ever voted for Trump? When they get mad at me or tell me, that doesn't matter, why does it matter? Or when they tell me, you're an idiot, you're a liberal, how stupid are you? You just don't know. Yeah, says the people who think there are people in Ohio eating cats and dogs. And like, even they just found out, or they just caught and arrested, I believe, the white guy that was taking the geese that were in that, I think, the same Ohio area. Yeah, he was white, not Haitian. He was white. So the times that Trump and Vance had the nerve to, yeah, he was white. He's white. And also, Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that, and other Republicans saying that Democrats are creating weather machines and we are the reason for the hurricane and everything in Florida and stuff. Okay, we need to get our education together. That's more proof that we need to get our education and racism and bigotry together. So I over the last couple weeks, I don't know, it's like I feel like with the fall, not like men are like, okay, I need a head start before it gets cold and everyone stays in the house. I need to find and trap the woman that I'm going to use for the season. And so I'm getting more attention, I'm getting more like messages and stuff like that. But do you know how many conservative men, it's like part of me is just like, hold up, like, especially sometimes I see like Trump, like they're at home, but I see like a Trump thing in the room. I'm like, okay, did you not look at my profile and look at the about me section? Because I try to save time. How come a lot of people don't like saving time? Yes, it does take a little time, like observing a profile, but it takes more time to, like, if you just swipe left and right and then next thing you know you're talking on the phone and an hour later, oh, you don't want any kids, oh, you want kids, oh, you're a smoker, oh, it's like you oh, you're an atheist, like, it's like I'm focusing on Bumble now because all of the stuff is on Bumble. And that's one reason I love the dating app. I was like, I don't really find any matches or whatever. Part of me is just like, and that's one reason why I've kind of retired from dating. And, but I'm working on me more and more. And I'm really liking myself now that I'm no longer with Mr. No Heart, Mr. Lockakey, who literally tried to cage my capabilities and my goals and opportunities. I'm starting to enjoy my self worth and my goals even more, which is so much fun. But when men are matching with me and they like, I understand you already have kids or you're older and you don't want to, like, you're not at the age to try to chase around a infant, toddler, or whatever. Okay, fine. But if I want kids, it's like I've already fell into that with Mr. No Heart. He kept telling me, and it's really crazy how men are allowed to not want any kids, but then women are not allowed to not want any kids. I want kids, but I haven't had kids, but I want kids. But I dated a selfish, no good, ignorant, sexist fool who, he told me he didn't want any kids, but when I said I want to adopt and foster, and I also want to adopt and foster preteens or teenagers because they have the less likelihood of being able to get adopted because most people want infants and young kids or very young children and stuff. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe we can do that. Maybe we can deal with like, and I was like, so, oh yeah, and I have so much stuff to tell you for during Sweetest Day weekend or week or whatever. But he, down the line or years later, he was like, no, having kids is a mistake. I have, like, my daughters are mistakes. Don't make the same mistake I did. You're so lucky you don't have children. You're so lucky you don't have kids. And uh, he he was very toxic. And even with me writing my novel, he didn't want anything to do with it. He would only read it if I published it, he said. And I knew he knew that was wrong because when I broke up with him, fine, okay, I'll read your book. Oh, so now you want to read my book? Now that I'm done with all the crap you've put me through and you've treated me like absolute garbage, now you want to read my book? Because almost every single time I was going to break up with him, all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to be super boyfriend. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to cook. I'm going to, like, take you out. Yeah, because he didn't take me out often. He only took me out when he knew I was highly annoyed and I didn't want to deal with him anymore. Those were the only times he was just like, oh, I got to get myself together. And now it's like sometimes I'm like, why did you, like, I knew he had a broken heart, and I thought that was the reason why sometimes he would be a jerk at the beginning of our relationship. But then I realized, I'm like, no, this is who you are. This is why your ex wife cheated on you within 1 year of marriage. So I still don't like her because she's a racist, bigoted. Like she says, once Trump is voted into office, she was going to buy me as a slave and whip me until I pass away. Yeah, the bigot. So, but anyway. Oh, yeah, but then near the end of our, like, the last 2 years of me being with Mr. No Heart, she starts dating black men. And I'm just like, huh, I wonder, what about if my now ex told them or tell these men what she plans to do with me? Hmm. Or are they going to end up being like a John James or one of the other black Republican men? But that's a different story for a different day. And that's only in my opinion. Only in my opinion. So, but back to Bumble. With politics, some people don't care. Some liberals or conservatives or moderates will date someone who's opposite or different from their political viewpoint. I'm not one of those people, especially being as a woman. And at my church, they say the man is a leader. A woman's supposed to be submissive. A woman's not supposed to like debate or check or test what the man says. Oh, okay. That means I am going to only date liberals, progressive Democrats. A lot of men keep saying I'm stupid, or I have so many. Oh, yeah, I just posted a video last week. It's this African American guy with the dreads, or really thick dreads and everything, who had the nerve to tell me to be open minded with my dating, which, okay, yeah, I'm not going to, on my list, I'm not going to date a guy who is not vaccinated because especially if I'm adopting, if I'm having kids, I'm not going to let a man tell me I can't vaccinate my children. And it's like with politics and religion and things, like if we have a difference of opinion, it's like, yes, as Democrats we can differ, but at least they're going to be in the same line, in the same arena. But if he's Republican, no, we're in two different cities, two different states, two different countries when it comes to our mindsets. So I need someone that's closer. Like, I want someone I'm compatible with. Like, and men keep writing me, telling me it doesn't matter and that I better just deal with who I get. No, thank you. I am getting my life together so I can adopt without a man. I found out that was my mistake since my mother kept telling me, you will never find a man. And as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. As long as you walk like that. I was so determined with finding a man. I didn't, even if I knew the man was no good, because I knew Mr. No Heart was no good, but he was a man. And I needed a man, I thought. Now I'm getting my businesses together, writing my books, doing my thing without a man. Even when I was invested, and this is another thing, in my profile I say must have investments. I didn't say how much. Men act like I just say you have to have thousands of dollars. No, I never said that. But after dating Mr. No Heart and Lockakey, I'm tired of loaning men money. And especially after Mr. Lockakey, I broke up with him because of, I mean, he treated me like garbage. And he kept stealing from his jobs. And he kept getting addicted back on his special candy, lying to me and cheating on me. And then lying about cheating on me even when I have the evidence right in my hands. Because when I put the evidence in his hands, oh my gosh. He was like, how'd you get this? How'd you get this? Who told you? Who? I was like, boy, you brought her over to the house while you were still under the influence. And then she told me, are you stupid? It's like, I know you had to go back to school to get your GED and you failed it the first time, but are you? Come on now. And I'm not putting anyone down with the G. Like this is personal for him. This is only personal for him because I know a lot of people who it's like I give like they were determined to go back to school to get their GED to either be more beneficial for their lives or because like with their kids they're like, you know what, I want to show them that I care about education and I want them to strive and be whatever. So it's like before anybody rips me up for that, but I'm just saying in his case, because when we first dated, he like if you listen to the videos, you already know, and you know that this is why I'm being petty. He lied about his education to me because I told him I was just about to start my second master's. So he told me he had finished high school. But then I found out okay, you really need to listen to the message or the videos because, yeah, I like while we were first just talking and everything, not official in any way, he was on probation. And the judge made him go back to high school to get his high school diploma. But then he quit and he said he was just going to get his GED because the teacher doesn't understand him and all these other excuses. So that's one reason why I'm hard on him because he lied to me and then he lied again and then he could have gotten the high school diploma but then he quit that because he wanted to sleep more and he wanted to hang out with his friends and he no longer had enough time to hang out with his friends when it's like, okay, this is the time when you get yourself together, you do the work. Because, like, I'm starting my second master's, I'm in the books like nobody's business. And there were some times where I'm studying and he's running in the house, like, because he's under the influence, screaming and yelling and threatening to punch a wall if I don't drop my stuff and go with him to I don't know where. So, yeah, I kind of run off on a tangent, but it's just an example of I have my list of standards for a reason. I will not. It's like I dated men who have a high school diploma, but I have issues with that because many of them I need to find a man who's okay with dating a woman who has the education that I have. Many of them don't. They don't like they either try to treat me like, oh, you think you're all that. Oh, you think you're something. Oh, you think you're above me. Since when? Or, oh, you want to start a business? Oh, it's because you have all that fancy education. Oh, you really think you're doing something with it. Or, oh, you got all that education for no reason. You're not going to do anything with it. You're not going to use it. But then I'm like, hold up, hold up. My bachelor's is in English. I'm writing being an author. And right now I have 6 books published, and I'm going to have at least 8 more within the next year, year and a half anyway. And then I have an anthropology minor, cultural and business anthropology. So with my MBA, my internet marketing, so it's like I try to study the culture in advertising and marketing. When I teach it in the classroom, I do teach parts of the cultural components of the advertising marketing of businesses because that matters. But when I tell them how I use my education, and oh, also teaching and training with technology. That's my first master's. It's like with my children's books, I create games, activities, my podcasts, the fairy dog mother. I create games and activities so kids can learn their colors, numbers, and shapes and everything. But yeah, when I tell people how I use my education, how I didn't just waste my money, like men with high school diplomas, they get mad at me. They get mad at me. And some of them are like, well, instead of you having all that education, it's like you should have just practiced cooking. But then when I cook for them and I show that I can do both, they get even more mad at me. And I know this is not all, but with the dating apps, that's majority of the men on the dating apps. That's how most of them have treated me. Mr. Lockakey, Mr. No Heart, and Ben, and well, there's quite a few. Lawrence, Because I remember when I went on a date with this guy named Lawrence, he was begging me for a date for like almost 2 months. Yeah. It's like we hung out, and next thing I know, he took out this really thick book. He didn't write it. It was like, I forgot what kind of book it was. It might have been like a science fiction or something. No, it might have been an encyclopedia. If I was going to write a book, it would be this thick. It's like, it wouldn't be that, like, he talking about my children's books. He was like, it wouldn't be that measly little blah, blah, blah. And it was like, that's too easy. Oh, teaching children how to count and their shapes and color, like, that's easy. Okay, let's put you in the first grade classroom that I taught. Okay, game on. But yeah, he didn't like that. But yeah, I'm gonna need a part two for this section. And yes, I know I kind of guided off course a little bit, but not really, because with my standards, I have them for a reason. These stories are for a reason. And these examples show why I don't feel safe or secure, because I've had guys who told me they want to take me on a date, and um, there was some trauma with like one guy who picked me up, and I'll tell the whole story one day, but I need to wait until I can emotionally say it. But he drove me to a park after we went out for coffee, and then he told me he was not going to drive me home until I did something in a provocative way to him. And he locked me in the car, won't let me out. And he said, "Yeah, I bet none of your degrees are going to help you now." Yeah, that weekend is when I made the list of my standards. That is when I made my standards, because I was never going to let a man who felt belittled just because, like, I busted my butt off. I wanted to be the best person I can be, but I keep running into men who literally want to devalue me, who want to belittle me, and who they feel like if I work hard, that's going to make them look smaller. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. But, anyways, this is the Handicapable Black Woman. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. Most importantly, I am human. And if you're going to go and get that GED, I just want to lay it out. Congratulations. Work hard, work on that goal, and celebrate it. But don't lie to people about the education, please. Because yeah, he's like, I'm upset because he didn't tell me, he lied about it. Don't lie about it. It's like, I'm telling all of my truth, and I'm like, yeah, part of me is like, yeah, some people are going to be offended, but I'm not perfect, and I'm willing to share that I'm not perfect. And with my disability, I have a learning component with my disability. So that's another reason why it pissed me off. Because how dare you lie about, like, and then you belittle my education. I worked my tush off. I had to study for so many more. I did not know why it took me forever to study and get ready for a test. It's because I have a learning disability. Yes. So when people try to tell me, yeah, it's like, or okay, there's going to be a part two. Take care. Bye.